stay clean.
Sorry I'm late, I just don't give...
Hey, so good. You rocking with the best known unknown podcast on the internet. We're back here with Late2Work, now live with episode 29 after a slight delay due to this bullshit weather of New England. As always, it's your boy Money Mitch, aka King Lear, aka Mexican Messiah, aka Daddy Longshort, the motherfucking clitoris wrangler, aka the light skinned Lord of the Flies, aka the dreadhead nigga in your lobby, your everyday entrepreneur. It's at Mitch Gaines with a Y because I'm a little bit gay. Catch me on all your favorite social media platforms, wherever you need to find me. I'm here rocking with my funniest man in Rhode Island. He's my right hand man. It's
only Chris Allen, the Black Hank Moody, Sweet James Jones Jr., the Young OG, Midwest Best, man. Holla at you. We in this.
What's good, man? So yeah, like I said, we back after a little couple weeks off. I'm happy to report, by the way, for the first time in my life, somebody out in like my random everyday life came up to me and was like, "Yo, man, like I really fuck with your podcast."
Word.
And I was like, "Yo, that was such like a weird experience. Like we have like I don't know, like 60 listeners a week or whatever." And I was like, "Yo, like I thought most of those people I like knew, let alone who like knew who I was and like."
Are you like growing this out, or that just like a? Okay.
No,
I was like, hold on, man, you growing that? How you growing that out?
Just the ill one gray hair.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on, man.
Oh no, none of that. But no, so it's good to be back. That being said, everything in the fucking world took place in the last 2 weeks. Where to even start? You got fucking McCabe getting fired, which doesn't even feel like we need to acknowledge that yet because like. He seems like he's gonna be fine, but like salute to the pettiness of the Trump camp, I guess. Like a day before the niggas gotta get a pension.
Dude, that's ridiculous. Let that man get his pension.
That's what I'm saying. Like for what?
We're wasting money anyway.
Yeah, for real. I guess you gotta fund the border wall somehow, right? Start hacking down that salary cap.
Man. You see Donald Jr. getting divorced.
Donald Jr. is getting divorced.
Apparently, it came out that he slept with Aubrey Dupree,
the chick from
Making the Band. From Making the Band, she was in not Day 26, but
what's that terrible girl group? Danity Kane.
Danity Kane,
yes,
Which I'm not mad at him. I mean,
I'm mad at her.
Yeah, I
like
know. Have a little bit more respect. But
girl, I just feel like better niggas is trying to like holler at her.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, it was a little bit out of left field. But,
also, I feel like his wife definitely knew about that for a while.
Yeah, I know, because apparently it happened like during The Apprentice.
Yeah, so like she's distancing herself for a reason. I'm curious to see.
I can only imagine how much half of the country is not a fan of your husband. And especially and then he's getting terrorized every weekend on Saturday Night Live. So your whole family is pretty much a joke. I mean, that's got to be a lot of stress.
Although I always wonder in these cases, like whether it's the people who like resign or people who walk away from office or people divorce or whatever, like. Do you think life's gonna get easier? Like nobody, you were married to that guy for what, a dozen or so years?
Yeah.
Like, just because you finally smartened up a little bit 12 years later, I still have little to no respect for you.
I mean, I'm not gonna go that hard on it.
No, I don't mean that seriously, but I don't know. I'm still looking at you with a funny eye. I don't trust you.
Yeah. Okay. So I've heard from just on people who've met Donald Jr. I heard that he's actually a really cool guy.
Really?
Yeah. Surprisingly, people who just who were on Rogan's podcast and some of the dudes that he hang out with. I met him. He's a real nice guy. So I'm not sure how much.
I could see him being a nice guy. I couldn't see him being a cool guy.
Yeah, exactly. But I've heard that he's cool. But I am. Still, whatever happened, I'm sure the weight of this presidency, all the attention, probably magnified the fact that this dude got side hoes.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just nah, I'm not dealing with all this. And you getting stuff on the side? Nah, I'm out this.
Yeah, I feel like he probably tried it one time since they've been in office. And
nah. For sure. He probably had it over in Russia. Yeah.
Speaking of niggas with side hoes, who took care of their business, OJ's interview.
OJ, man. Dude, how insane. OJ looks like I've never. They should like do a psych evaluation because that's.
We need to point out that footage is old, right? That's from 2006.
Yeah,
is that correct? Okay, so he looks legitimately unhinged.
Yeah, completely. And
I say that as a certified crazy dude who's medicated heavily. Like that nigga looks like he's got issues.
Yeah, he absolutely does. And the thing is, and he's delusional to the point where I felt like while I was watching it, it's like, oh, he thinks by saying this that he's gonna have America like shifted on his side. Oh, I just blacked out. I don't know what happened.
Do you think he believes that?
I do. I mean, why else would you like do that?
I think he is so. First off, I've always believed like killing somebody changes your whole mental, emotional composition completely. Yeah. I've met enough people who've killed somebody, whether in their civilian life or in their military life. I've known that to be true from people who've explained that to me. Mm-hmm. I think he snapped when that happened, wasn't sure how to react, and is still trying to figure out how he got away with it.
Yeah.
Like, imagine processing that happened, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I have to, like, reckon with the idea that I am a murderer, right? And then, like, at some point through that, what usually happens is you go through the court system, and all the powers that be that you know to construct like the restrictions of civilization tell you, no, you've done a bad thing, go away.
Yeah.
And then he walked.
Yeah.
So I think he came out and was like, y'all hear me, right? Like, I killed this bitch.
So you think there's
like he's genuinely surprised that.
So you think there's like? Do you think?
I think he just wants to brag about it because he can't believe it.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure you were saying that, or you were saying like this was just a subconscious part of him that really wants to be punished for this.
I don't know if he really wants to be punished, but there's a subconscious part of him, and I can't tell if it's he wants to be punished or it's ego or it's whatever that wants to talk about it.
Yeah,
because like. As somebody who I've said this all my life, as long as I can remember, since I was probably 6 or 7, it's like I don't care what we're doing so long as it's a good story.
Yeah,
that's the best story ever, right? Like I was America's darling, an absolute athletic gift, a Hollywood sensation, and a true crime superstar. That's everything the American public loves.
Yeah,
and I think he's just fascinated with the idea.
Yeah, like I think he may be getting off on the fact that like he's this gangster, like he can get away from.
He's gangster in a way that nobody else has accomplished. Nobody's checked all of those boxes.
Yeah,
we might have had criminals who are also athletes, or we might have had criminals who are also entertainers. We might have had athletes who are entertainers, obviously, etc. There's some crossover. Yeah. This dude checked every box.
Yeah.
Athlete, entertainer, businessman, criminal, author. You know what I mean? Like, the dude got away with everything, and still, I mean, what did he end up doing? Like 4 years, 8 years total? Like,
no, he did a grip. He did 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like 6. Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, he got off lightly for, slaughtering.
I know a lot of niggas did 6 years for a lot less. That's all I'm saying.
Jeez. Yeah, he's...
Hypothetically.
His story does not end well. I'm surprised the Goldmans haven't ran up on him.
Somebody's going to get OJ. And, like... I will say, I did see something going around, and I thought this was a bit disingenuous. It's like... Let's be clear. Black people never rooted for this guy, OJ. We're rooting for this guy, Johnny Cochran, who like exploited a corrupt system in favor of the black community. Niggas were not rooting for Johnny Cochran. Yeah. Niggas were rooting for OJ. Niggas are openly rooting for OJ. Let's not like backpedal now.
And also, it's like we didn't have all the details as we know now. I mean, the news cycle was a lot different, and it did frame things a lot differently. And with Johnny Cochran used the tools of the media and the court system to highlight the corruption in the LAPD. Or where it wasn't even at LAPD, I think wherever area they were at where this happened, and there was some funny shit going on. So that shifted a lot of people's attention, and it doesn't, especially
the case stopped being about the crime that was committed.
Exactly, yeah, and especially it was on the heels of the Rodney King beating and shit. Like there's a lot more than this, and that people couldn't see clearly enough to be like, yo, like this dude's guilty. I don't think at the time, and I was a kid when this happened, but I was like, no, they framing him.
Yeah, I mean, like I was a little kid, but I remember like the trial dragged on or whatever, and so I remember him getting off was right around like some of my first memories, like that age. And I just remember like hearing about it, and it was just like, oh, like OJ, like he's that guy who got set up. Like that was who OJ was in my mind until I was like 10 or 11. Yeah. And then I had to like look up the case of OJ, and I was like, holy shit, I've been rooting for the wrong guy.
I know, and it was mad confusing. Like I was just watching the series that went on, and then trying to remember what I thought were the facts before. It was a total.
I gotta go back and watch some of those because I just got like oversaturated with the OJ thing because Made in America came out and then the ESPN one came out right after that. Yeah, and it's like they came out back to back, and every podcast and every pundit or whatever like I was checking in for at that time, all I heard was like reaction to that. So whenever I hear that much reaction to something, I can't stomach going to see it, especially something that long. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to watch 12 hours of content that I kept hearing about already. So I got to go back and like actually watch that now.
Yeah. It's weird. It was different, man. It was a confusing time, but it's sad to see that this guy's did get off on that when obviously he's guilty of sin.
Yeah. I'm giving a fair warning to all of our white listeners out there. This is going to be a very black episode. We try not to keep it super racy all the time. And a lot of this just isn't about race. It's just some super black shit. But pick a number 1 through 5 of these super black topics we can get to today while we're on black culture.
1 through 5, we can go through a solid 2.
2? All right. DJ Envy and Jesus and Marrow beef.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, because I know we ain't got all the time in the world, but I'm pumped to get to this.
I think this is not even a black and white thing. This is just like,
That's what I mean. This is not a black and white thing. This is just a black thing.
Yeah, well,
although there's some colorism in this.
Yeah, there is. I mean, this is just about relationships and disrespect and fame when you're so for the people who don't
you want to set the table for the people who don't know what's going on.
All right, so for people who don't know, DJ Envy is one of the
DJ Envy.
Co-host of the famous Breakfast Club with Charlamagne and God and
biggest hip hop morning show in America.
Yeah, and what's
Angela
Yee. Yeah. So a little bit ago, maybe like a year or so ago, Envy made an announcement on the air that he cheated on his wife and that they were having troubles. Long story short,
took the Kevin Hart route.
Yeah, and then long story short, they worked it out. Now they have their own podcast and they're doing press for it and so forth. And so they do one of those female shows where the ladies talk
like
about
The View or some shit.
It wasn't even The View. It was like the one the knockoff. Yeah. And then
it wasn't The View. It was the knockoff of the couches.
Yeah, exactly. And then so like.
For the listeners out there who have not seen the clip, my man is in an all-white suit with like the black lapels, just looking like straight like cruise ship waiter. Like here's your beef Wellington, sir. But carry on. Sorry.
So on the episode, they were just going over the situation in details, which y'all can check the clips. Just Google DJ Envy and wife discuss his cheating, and then what's it? Diesel and Marrow.
Jesus and Marrow. You're gonna kill me on New York, nigga.
I ain't gotta know everyone's names. There's a lot going on in this world.
That's facts. You never know nobody's names. You remember the Aziz episode?
Oh yeah, when I started
Aziz and Zazie.
Hey man, I don't pronounce anything right, man. It's just a shame that
Midwest slang, dog.
I know. No, I just like, dude. I had this. That's another story. Like I always had like speech problems. I used to like go to classes for speeches and shit. Like it's a long ass story, but regardless. So they made Jesus and Marrow made a I didn't think it was that bad a comment.
That's what I mean. Like their whole show. If you've never seen Jesus and Marrow's like late night show, it's like ridiculousness almost for like black people. Like, so it's a web show clips, and then they do a guest, and like that's basically the show. It was like a clip of DJ Envy and his wife. They were talking about him cheating. Yeah, they like. I don't even really remember what they made fun of him for.
Well, this is where he was pissed off because like his wife was saying, I didn't know DJ Envy. I knew him by his like legal name. Yeah, his legal name. And then
he had set that up. He was like, at home I was Rashard, and in the streets I was DJ Envy. And she was like, I didn't even know DJ Envy. Yeah. And all they said was, yeah, but you knew about them DJ Envy checks though. Yeah. Which is like, kind of like that's like a low shot. Like you're better than that. I feel like as comedians and somebody who watches their content, but at the same time, like that's not like bad. Like
I don't think it's bad. I don't.
That's like casual shit talk that everybody shit talks. Like,
yeah, and then it's like I did think that
if anything, that's like a big up to Envy.
Yeah. Okay. So long story long at this point.
Yeah.
Deezus and Mero came to the Breakfast Club. Envy put pressure on them. A question about that. I guess kind of hostile with it, but like borderline like pressure, borderline kind of respectful, but then like left the interview. And
on his own show.
And here's the first thing. Let's start with the comment. Envy thought it was disrespectful to say that assume or insinuate that his wife is with him because of the money.
Which to back that up, I will say, like, he went on to explain, they've been together since he was 15, before he had shit, before he was anyone. Yeah. And, like, she's been around making more money than him for most of their relationship. It was most certainly there for a lot more than the bag.
Yeah.
As somebody in a relationship with somebody who makes more money than me, who I know has more than the bag, I can respect and salute that.
Yes.
And don't come at my girl on any shit.
I think that, that is like that's all you need to say. Like,
right.
I think it's over.
And that's my point. He said that. Deezus was like, yo, like, my bad. Like, it was just jokes, but, like, you feel some type of way, but, like, my fault.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
I don't know why it had to be anything more than that.
Yeah. I think that's when I think that's what as an Envy, you got to expect that. Like, once you are in the fame and you're in the lights, like, you gotta expect that people will make comments about your life that don't know.
Bro, you're on the #1 radio show in America, arguably. Yeah. You're the #1 hip hop show in America, right? Yeah. You just made an appearance on daytime television with millions of viewers, right? Yeah. Like, nigga, like, people's going like, Deezus and Mero are like great. Like their style of comedy is like internet comedy. It's like what's happening today. I'm gonna take shots at it, and it's like like punch an arm, like we boys kind of. Like, exactly. There's no reason to be butthurt about anything they say.
Exactly.
They play niggas falling down with like Sonic rings coming off them. Like it's fun. It's a good time. Like why are you getting mad about that?
Yeah, and I can't. And it's like I don't understand why he's so sensitive, especially because DJ Envy's been in the lot. He's been around for years.
Yeah, DJ Envy been.
Yeah, can you like I can't see anyone like a Puff or like a Dre or anyone like that who's had money and taking that comment.
I'm not putting DJ Envy on that level.
Well, but I'm just saying.
But let me make a better comparison. I couldn't see DJ Clue doing this.
Or Charlemagne. Charlemagne.
Oh, no.
You know,
God, no.
Yeah,
people take shots at Charlemagne all the time. Way harder shots than that.
Yeah.
Brandon, like, to Envy's point, it's different if you're going to disrespect me than disrespect my girl. I'm going to feel a little differently about that. But at the same time, like, I'm not getting in my feelings that much.
Yeah, exactly. Because once you start fighting every battle about that, it's like, dude, this is going to be a long life.
It's going to be a long life.
But, okay, so here's what I saw. Okay. That I think it's going to get deeper with them because I saw hints of online that they're going to have Erica Mendez.
Oh, she's coming back to Love and Hip Hop.
And she's going to be Deezus and Mero.
Oh, is she?
They hinted towards that on Twitter.
Yes.
There was some communication. That's going to cause even more.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure it will, and I can't wait. Because that's the thing. Deezus and Mero is also like cleaning these things up. Like it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's just better content. I'm sorry to tell Envy that, but it is what it is.
I don't know. Charlemagne's
great. I'm saying
Charlemagne's makes that show.
Oh, I agree. But Charlemagne makes it like yes, okay. That's
exactly
what I was trying to say.
Charlemagne's personality is just like it's one that
a lot of people could sit in DJ Envy's chair. That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree.
As proven by the fact that he walked off his own show and nobody missed him.
Yeah. Like, people were upset when Charlemagne's not at the interview. Because he's going to put the press on people.
And not even but that's what I like about Charlemagne's interview. It's not even the press. The best thing Charlemagne does, and I've said this as long as I've finally turned around my opinion on him, because I used to not be a Charlemagne guy. Charlemagne's best feature is that he's not afraid to admit that he's dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He opens every interview saying, nigga, I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to ask you some dumb shit because I just need answers because niggas is talking. Yeah. And I don't care what all these niggas is talking about. I'm asking you because it's about you. Yeah. And that's a great way to approach it.
And he will ask the questions that the streets, the barbershop question that people want to know.
And that's the thing is like everything everyone's debating, but nobody has the real answer to. People are scared to ask. It's the impolite question because one of two things: like you either look like you were applying the pressure, or you look like you're an idiot, and he's just willing to be the idiot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's not an idiot. We all know he's not an idiot, but that's the character he always plays to get those interviews. Yeah, he does it better than anyone.
Yeah, he's.
Now I have to address something on this topic before we let it go. A lot of the shots coming back from the Jesus Mero camp at DJ Envy. And one of my favorite headlines, what did it say? The beige something.
Beige Rage.
The Beige Rager. But it's Beige Rager, it's in your light skin, all these very reverse colorism tags. I have two questions I have to figure out. Yeah. Is it only colorism when we're knocking dark skinned people? Which is fine, because I get, like, generally speaking, that's how Team Light Skin usually gets off easy. Yeah. 2, does Mero as a light-skinned Dominican get to call out light-skinned black people?
Yeah, apparently. I
just don't get it. He's lighter. He might be lighter than Envy.
But you can still make fun of, like, light skin and shit.
Like, acting light skin is different. Okay. Yeah. So, but that begs my third question then. I'm definitely darker than Mero. I'm definitely darker than Envy. I'm occasionally in my feelings.
Yeah, no, you got the.
Am I light skinned or not? I can't tell.
Yeah, you definitely got the light skin.
Oh,
I can tell, man.
You're appropriately dark skinned, so I had to ask because I don't know where in the spectrum.
You got a light. You be having your light skin moments too.
But I'm not like an R&B singer light skin. I'm at least like rapping light skin. Yeah. Like I got no hands, but niggas don't know that.
Like Drake. You're like in the Drake.
I'm Drake, but I'm not cool. So I'm like, that's not a good look actually. When you like the SoundCloud Drake, you don't want to be that guy. You're like, okay, shit. Don't let me cut my dreads. So that's really all I had to say on that. Like, I hope they patch it up and all is well. Like, niggas just need to get out their feelings. But it is funny to watch. It is. And if you like this podcast and you like other shit like this podcast, go check out their beef because it's funny to listen to.
It is.
While we stand on black shit, just briefly want to point this out. Diddy did an interview with GQ. And he said that him and Hov are teaming up to create an app so you can anywhere, like any city you're in, locate black owned and this is what I found particularly interesting, black friendly businesses. I don't know how they're defining that.
How you black friendly?
Well, no, I think it's like a feedback based thing or whatever. Okay. And so like black people who go there will be able to
they cool.
So you go to that, it's a dope pizzeria, but every time you go in there they call you a nigga. You know what I mean? Yeah, all of a sudden like you can tell other niggas not to go there, and other niggas can tell you where to get good pizza.
Yeah, no,
so that's dope.
I think that's a smart move, and it's time to. This is the beginning steps to kind of. Organize the buying power of minorities and show that there's strength in whenever people can come together and make decisions based on, who's treating you, who's doing the right shit.
I would agree with that. I want to point out briefly, because I saw the article, there's many a comment, and as somebody who works in tech and has worked in tech for a long time, I always salute people trying to do things first. A lot of people being like, we've already been working on this. We need, people like Jay and Diddy and people like that to invest in what's already going on. The three people who are really making some stank noise about that are a company called Juku.
What?
Juku, not even kidding. Yeah. Jooku, based out of your native state, Ohio, Cincinnati. When he was trolling for viewership and to try and get the attention of Diddy and Jay-Z, he was sharing this lovely article from local WLWT5 in Cincinnati from 2005. So clearly big things are popping over there. Just want to salute my mans. We also have theblackmall.com, which has been in business since 2011, yet does not have a mobile site or app. Has a collective 2,000 businesses listed on it nationwide. Killing it. And then there's Our Black Web, who really thought, we've been here first. I can't believe people are trying to hijack our idea. And so they shared their website, ourblackweb.com. So I want to go check it out. I want to support our fellow black brothers and sisters, being entrepreneurial, doing the good work for all of us. Please be patient during our site revision. A new Our Black Web coming soon. Copyright 2014.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm gonna say these niggas could maybe just let Jay and Diddy make something better.
Yeah, or just, competition fuels any industry, so like...
Get in your grind, homie, that's what I'm saying.
But, if you've been ready, you ain't got to get ready. And you wasn't ready, man.
That's what I mean, dog. Like, if you was doing it first, then it would be happening.
Yeah, exactly. But nah, they just...
Yeah.
They need to chill.
So that's all on that. Do you want to do Facebook hack or Texas package bombings?
I just let's go to because I just been skimming, hearing news blurbs about the Texas.
So I think that's what's scary about the whole thing is that's all anyone's hearing.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of information, and
anywhere you find a lot of information isn't from a trust. Like I'm finding like local blogs in Texas, but I don't know if I trust fucking Joe the ex-sheriff from fucking some town I've never heard of. You know what I mean? Like, but from all reports, it's predominantly successful black families. Everybody who's been targeted has at least one member of the household making six figures. Every one of them has been a black family. The only connection so far was, I think, like one of the victims' stepdads was friends with another one's like uncle or grandfather or something. It was very tangential. Yeah. So not a lot of other connections besides that. But I think it's been 5 bombs in 2 weeks.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of stories of like people refusing to look into it as a hate crime, the cops not taking it seriously because of black victims. Clearly nobody's talking about it as though it's a terrorist spree or a serial killing.
This is terrorism.
I don't know when explosives being let off in domestic neighborhoods stopped being terrorism.
Yeah.
But as the MOVE bombings in Philadelphia in the 80s and the Tulsa riots of the 20s taught us, when the victims were black people, then it's not terrorism. So
yeah, man.
If you're in Texas and you're black, I'd move.
Yeah, I'm sure though. I mean, this is when things gain this much attention. Like it's hard to get away with shit like this. So they gonna find you.
Yeah, I would think so. But that's what I mean. I don't know that it's getting enough attention for that to ring true right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of other shit to pay attention to. Put it that way.
Yeah, something will happen next week and shit. Trump will fire someone and shift everything.
That'll happen as soon as we get done recording.
No, seriously.
Speaking of things that just happened, Facebook got hacked apparently last year, and we're just finding out about it.
Okay, so this is I think this is what we have to look forward to, and I think this is just like the beginning. Either this is the beginning of like you eliminating these systems, or it's just like the beginning of like an onslaught of bullshit like this. So like how this, so they were using, this company apparently was using those IQ tests and so forth. So you go in there and he's like, I want to know like what if I was a Cheerio, if I was a cereal, what cereal would I be, and shit like that, and like gaining like information. And
every time that little box that pops up and says you need to grant access to X, Y, and Z, you click yes so you can take that stupid fucking quiz. Yeah. Yep.
So that's what they were doing. So they're gaining information that way. And then using the personality traits that they were gaining from these quizzes and so forth to identify who would most likely be swayed, right, apparently, because it was Steve Bannon's company, or he was.
Well, he was like their main customer. I don't think it's his company.
Yeah, and
because the kid who like built the whole like tool that does this, like the data scraping tool that he used, from what I understand, he kind of blew the whistle on them. Yeah, like he built this and realized how it was being used by people, and then like kind of like turned over. That's how like this got exposed.
Yeah. And how do you feel like Wiley, I guess what do you feel about this? Because this is not technically something that is illegal. It will essentially be immoral and a little bit of sketchy.
A lot of sketchy.
Yeah, a lot of sketchy. But it's not illegal, and it's definitely misleading.
It's not illegal, and I'm not 100% sure I would even know how to make it illegal. In a way that respects a free internet.
I don't think that I don't know if we should legislate it, but I think Facebook should decide where they stand on there, and then as a business, and whether they allow it or not allow it, and then people should decide if that's something they want to be involved with.
So one of the things I read about probably, I don't know, a couple, 5-6 weeks ago, I read this article, and it was about like the kind of like the turn of the high-speed internet generation, especially the mobile internet generation, and there was just like this very libertarian, wild west, like carefree, disregard the rules approach, as if like if you built it fast enough, legislation couldn't catch up. And we saw that with the way Amazon turned over Prime, and then next day, and then instant. We saw that with Netflix. We saw that with Uber. We saw that with Airbnb. Like all of these companies broke thousands of laws. Uber breaks the law every day, probably now.
And they do it. They don't even give a shit. They're pretty aggressive about it.
Because like they go out and they raise money, and they raise a $200 million round, knowing that $50 million of that is just legal fees.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's already allotted for, and it's part of the business model. And with that in mind, like I don't know where we expected this to go. You know what I mean? Like we knew we're sharing a gross amount of data all of the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think about it all the time that I need to go back and like scrub everything I've ever put on the internet before 2015 or something, right? And it's like, but can you? Like those are all my memories. Those are all my photos. Those are literally my thoughts written down.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I co-sign all those now, but those can be held against you in the future. And that's what's crazy to me. Like, imagine going back, right, and, like, you read, I don't know, JFK's diaries from college. I'm sure there's some unsavory things in his journals.
Yeah.
We just posted all of ours to a Facebook wall or a Twitter account.
And it is a legal, I mean, now it's a footprint that, you know, people are going to hold against you.
And we gave it the permission to.
So, and now, the thing is, a lot of companies don't know how to handle this, so they are discriminating against it. And some things I can see, because if you do just say something like, "Oh, I hate all Mexicans" and so forth, well, you don't want that in your companies. But so there is a fine line, and you're gonna judge it. You're gonna judge it however you want to judge it. While we're on this, I want to just touch on this. I mentioned it before we started this podcast. Is that like, okay? So we're in a similar topic because a Springfield, Ohio firefighter was fired for sharing a racist meme on Facebook, according to the Springfield News. Bradley Blue, how you pronounce that?
Bo?
Well, I don't know.
Baugh.
Blah.
One of y'all from the South, tell me how to pronounce that.
Was hired 2 months ago. Shared a meme that used a racial slur directed towards black people and mocked fast food worker. Okay, here is the meme. It said, "Niggas drop out of school. Niggas, Niggas. Niggas drop out of school, get a job at McDonald's, talking about I'm on my grind. Yeah, okay. Grind me up one of those Oreo McFlurries with your dumb ass."
That's funny.
I don't think this is something that he should be fired for, unless there's.
I assume he's a white guy.
He's a white guy.
Okay.
Unless he has racist stuff in his past.
Yeah, that's tricky.
Here's why. Because it's like this people I see like fucking IG models, chicks, and so forth, who are a wide variety of nationalities and ethnicity, and they will share shit.
Niggas is now dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know when that happened or if we should be co-signing that.
Well,
that's my question on it.
Okay, well, I do think that like if it's a meme, it's okay because
why?
Because it's like a rap lyric. It's like if you can share a rap lyric for Snoop Dogg,
right? But here's the thing: is like those. I feel like a lot of those memes aren't made by black people.
I think they are. I think
they used to be, much like rap lyrics. You see what I'm saying?
I don't. Yeah, I
like internet culture. We give a pass to on that because it's like, oh, niggas be like, it's just like an internet catchphrase, right?
Yeah.
Which like niggas be like is an internet catchphrase because of black Twitter, because of black people.
Yeah.
But now niggas be like is like 14-year-olds on Xbox Live be like, niggas gonna die today, and that shit's funny and like whatever. Like I'm just let kids be kids, and that's part of the vernacular, right? But at the same time, like. Does that same logic apply to a 36-year-old firefighter?
I give him, unless he has
niggas be like grind me up an Oreo. Like I just couldn't imagine. Like, could you see that guy saying that to a black person's face?
I don't think he would say that. I don't even think he would because it was a meme and was a funny one.
I agree.
I don't think he even thought of. and I'm taking some,
You're giving him a lot of passes. That's all I'm saying.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, unless there's racism in his past, because I know, like, I have white friends that they saw that they would send it to me. And I'd be like, "Yo, this is funny," and I wouldn't be like, "Oh, you sending me that? You racist?" Because it's just like.
But it brings up my favorite debate of all time, the N-word debate, which like is the line is very clear. It's just white people have never wanted to accept it, and black people don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to use it, you don't have to ask. And if you have to ask, you don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
And that's always been true. Like, every white person in my life who ever would, like, use nigga comfortably with me, one time in my life did that ever seem strange. Every other white person who ever walked up to me like, "Yo, what up, my nigga?" like, was clearly from, like, a background where, like, he knew who niggas was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you, like, I met one kid at one party one time who was like, "Yo, what up, my nigga?" And I looked at him like, "Yo, dog, I'm not your nigga."
Because he's just using it but that's what I mean. He's not from the culture. He's just like...
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's my point, is like, it just... Everybody on the internet now is of the culture.
I think the internet. I think because you're mixing internet culture with this, it's kind of because it.
That's what I mean. Because we're on the internet now, it's like become part of the internet culture, and that's dangerous.
But I guarantee. Okay, but I think that is regardless. Without knowing who wrote that, you would assume that's coming from a black person.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, sharing that meme is not racist. That's funny as shit.
And I don't think. And
I don't think he should be fired for that.
Unless he has a history of like.
Granted, like he's a public servant. Like, if like a black community member like brought that to you, like, I think the fire department, I guess, needs to address it and say something. But I don't think you need to fire him.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think like and especially if this guy is like, if he is like in Springfield. I know Springfield. It's like near Dayton, Ohio. So like it depends on where he's like from the hood. Like if he's lived in Dayton, Ohio, and he's from like Springfield's pretty nice, but it's like it's from the like outskirts of like Dayton. Like Dayton's a major city near Springfield, and so like Dayton's very hood. And so if he's like, let's say he grew up in Dayton and then like, you know, now he's a firefighter and like he grew up around urban people and that's what I mean. Then it's different because he's not thinking about, he's just thinking about like, oh, that's how one of his boys would say he's sharing his fun. Then I give him the pass. But if he's like, you know, there's also the like country side of Dayton. Right. If he's like that,
I guess this is my thing is on the internet, the countryside, like there are kids in like backwoods fucking Arkansas who've never met a black person who refer to their friends as niggas because the internet taught them that. Yeah. So they share that meme amongst each other. Yeah. And then when they see actual black people, they call them niggers and beat them with sticks.
Yeah. See, that's
and like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's separated from this.
Yeah. So
fair.
I think that like.
That being said, this nigga did not get hacked.
Yeah,
he publicly posted that.
I do think that we need to chill out. We can't crucify people based on what they say on the internet, or like you have to give people a little bit of leeway because we're all going to be judged the same way you judge other people. It's going to backfire when you say something in that thing and try to delete it and someone catches it. So we got to chill out with that. You know what the clearest example of this is? And I was worried this was going to happen when we have our first female president, but it looks like it's going to happen when Trump, so we can get the shit out of the way. As they say, everything that happens on the internet first happens in porn, right? Nudes of a president are going to come out. Yeah. It looks like this may happen in the Stormy Daniels situation, so help us fucking God. No. That we have to see Trump with a ridiculous. I hope not. Right. But my point is, like, that's going to happen. And that is the shameful crime of the internet, right? Is that we all send naked pictures of ourselves to each other. All the super conservative people in the world is like, this is why the internet is a dark, terrible place, and everybody's just getting naked and soliciting sex and drugs. And it's like, that's like the purest example of that, right? Once that happens, we then all have to acknowledge that we all have nude pictures on the internet. I have zero. Never sent. You've never sent a nude photo. I never thought it was cool for guys to do. Have you done anything like? Because you seem to be the coolest dude in the world who never made a mistake. Have you ever done anything incriminating on the internet?
Because you might be the perfect guy to ask. Because I've got all sorts of dark.
I'm sure I've like said something or done something that could be used against me in a court of law.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like everybody's internet history. Like I'm sure you've got a browser history full of strange porn. Yeah, I'm sure you've DM'd some chick on IG and like definitely. Like, which you want to talk about some shit I've never done. Like I've never went like hollering at some IG models DMs. That's
I've never done that either.
But I'm saying I know niggas who do that.
Yeah.
I holler at like comedians trying to get a guest spot.
Dude, yeah.
I'm like, yo, you trying to let me be on your podcast? What's up? I really love you guys.
Yeah, I've never done that. I never slid in any.
No,
I never slid in a
DM.
Yeah, unless I knew the person or like
I met you in real life. I would definitely like. If I met you like earlier that night, I'm definitely the guy who would like add you on Facebook like later that week, and then we'll like hit you up like, hey, we'll like hang out this weekend, and then get left on red for like a while. Yeah, I was definitely that guy in like 2011.
Nah, I'm not mad at that. You gotta take your shots.
I was also 21. Like I was shooting a lot of shots. I was put this way. I was like mellow. Like I would put up 40 in a night, but it was because I took 42 shots.
That's the way you do it,
you
man.
Know what I mean? But I was still getting buckets.
All right, hey, we gotta. I hate to do this. We gotta wrap this up. I've been writing a lot. And I promise my dude Dennis that I will be at his mic today. He put me on there, so I can't let him down because comedians, like you say you're gonna do something and you don't do it or you curve it, it's like held against you.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we need to get into with the comedy community on here.
It is. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it because I understand it because it is a tight knit community and it's like the way you earn like your respect in the community. It's like, yo, like you say you're gonna do this, like own up to it and shit like that. It separates like the people who just talk.
The people who are working versus people who are bullshitting.
Yeah, so we're gonna cut this a little bit short. So y'all off easy with a 40-some minute podcast. Is there anything you want to hit before we get out of there?
No, I'm pretty much good. We got a bunch of shit we're probably gonna get into next week anyway. I did want to touch on the Bruno Mars shit, but like TLDR, Bruno Mars isn't appropriating culture.
No, I think everybody in the world has touched on it. I can't wait to dig into those people. We'll touch that next week.
You can't pay that much homage to the niggas you're copying and be accused of.
I'm sick of this cultural appropriation too. I have a whole
between him the dreadlocks conversations I've had to have over the past year. I'm just over it.
Stupid. Yeah. Culture should be spread. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's a couple of things, but no, I'm cool. We getting the fuck out of here. As always, but slightly different than usual, a little bit shorter. This has been episode 29. We're going to be back for y'all with full length, probably longer than usual episodes next week because we're going to have a little more time on hands. Some clips coming soon. Catch us on YouTube. We on YouTube now. Get us our viewership up. Come see our pretty faces. I just got my hair did, so come check out your boy on camera. And yeah, till next week, stay warm and out of the snow and shit. Don't be a dickhead.
Oh, let me go.
Oh, shit, you got dates.
Yeah, dates. I'm hosting the Comedy Connection this Sunday. Providence, Rhode Island, Comedy Connection. I'm your host. We're going to have a live ass show. I'm going to bring some heat. On the 29th, Thursday, I'm at the Comedy Connection again for the $5 funny. On 4/21, Skidapalooza at the Comedy Connection. That shit's gonna be off the hook. It's gonna be all
living at the Comedy Connection.
Hey man, that's my
home club.
Yeah. And then what else I got? April 14th, I'm in Gallery X in New Bedford. April 21st, I'm in Malarkeys in West Bridgewater. August 24th, I'm at AS 220 for a cool show. I'll have some more shows for you next time we holler at you on this. So yeah,
when you're hosting, Chris Allen. That nigga get 3 minutes. What's up?
I can only host, man. You gotta. I'm not the booker. I'm just like the host.
You see what happens when a nigga gets Hollywood, right? One hosting party, like, I don't know none of you little people. I'm getting out of here in 40 minutes. We ain't bringing nobody on.
I'm just
come see what niggas is gonna be dope.
It's gonna be lit though.
All right, till then, don't be a dickhead. We'll holler at y'all next week.
Peace.
Automatic ways when we touch base. Just tryna fuck a bad bitch, it's a good day. I'm talking now, I ain't just tryna parlay. Try to tell you not to bring that ass around me. Okay, no tears, I want it all off. Don't trip, I won't get caught up, baby. You got work, you better